A state worker has been waiting for surgery to live pain-free and has finally gotten her wish.
We call on Kurtis with the happy but still unfinished ending to her story.
Yeah, we met Stephanie Small back in July when she says her surgery was being held up because her former doctor was not turning over her medical records. Well, Stephanie says our report helped get her on the operating table, even though the doctor still would not hand over her file.
It's hard to describe, but I feel lighter.
A huge weight lifted off Stephanie Small's shoulders after getting surgery she's waited months for. A big difference from our interview with her over the summer.
It's pretty painful. It's pelvic pain and pain down my leg.
Suffering from endometriosis, she desperately needed that surgery.
Make sure that you're following up with your doctor.
But she says her OB/GYN, Dr. Glenda Goodwin, seen here in YouTube video, became unresponsive and since last October has ignored requests to turn over Stephanie's medical records. Stephanie told us she could not get the surgery without her file. But fast forward a couple of months.
I am so happy. I can't even tell you.
After our story aired, Stephanie says her medical group approved the surgery, even without her records.
She told me, well, we were informed that Channel 13 had gotten involved and we want to help you.
But Dr. Goodwin still had not turned over Stephanie's file. State law says a doctor has to provide a patient copies of their records within 15 days of their request. Stephanie filed a complaint with the Medical Board of California last November.
I was under the impression that she was supposed to be fined $1,000 a day, up to $10,000. Here we are going on our 10th month.
Then, finally in August, Stephanie learned the medical board got her records, but they refused to give them to her.
I was fuming.
Why can't the state agency that regulates doctors give you your own records? They tell us in a statement, the board may be prohibited from giving the records directly to a patient. The requirement in law is for the physician to give a copy of the patient's records to the patient. The medical board helps facilitate the release of records directly to the patient.
I have to say that the medical board has frustrated me because they took their time.
Tired of waiting, Stephanie called her state senator, Ted Gaines.
I think the nature of government is bureaucratic.
Senator Gaines tells us his staffers got in touch with the medical board on Stephanie's behalf. And in a matter of days, Dr. Goodwin sent her the medical file. The senator says it should not have taken the medical board this long to get results.
They need to make sure they're following up. It looks like they took initial action, but they needed to take follow-up action.
Stephanie says the medical board told her it's now going after Dr. Goodwin, but she says the most important thing for her was getting the surgery.
I can see that light at the end of the tunnel.
1 week after her procedure, she's in recovery and on the road back to a normal, pain-free life.
It was worth the fight because I know what the end result was going to be. And even though it took about a year, I definitely am glad that I stuck with it.
Well, there still is another hang-up. Stephanie says the records she received from Dr. Goodwin are incomplete. Our call to her office was once again unreturned.
Well, given the history of the medical board and the stories we've covered on this outfit, I'm almost reluctant to ask this question, but are we going to know if they're going to punish this doctor?
Right now, if it's an open investigation, we don't know about it. We have a feeling there's an investigation because we do have some emails we've seen between the investigator and her. However, because it's an open case, they won't comment on it. But if there is some sort of discipline, if there is some sort of citation, that is public information and we will have access to it.
Okay.
After the fact.
After the fact.
Thanks.
We will see. Okay.
All right. If you have a consumer problem you can't resolve, maybe we can. You can call our hotline Monday through Friday, or you could always go to our website and fill out our form.